Hello, Booktube. Welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and I am filming this for Tuesday, for Tag Tuesday. And I saw this tag, the 50 Questions You've Never Been Asked tag, first on Liz Schubert's channel 2 weeks ago. And I had so much fun watching it, and I didn't even realize till almost at the end that she had tagged me. So thanks, Liz, for tagging me. Meanwhile, I have seen several people do the tag, and it's kind of funny because I think it's pretty obvious that it was a very young person who wrote the tag. I don't know for sure who it originated from, but I will try to find that out and put it below. But all the people I have watched do the tag have been 45 and older. So it's kind of funny because some of these questions are structured and geared towards younger people, and it's just kind of fun to hear older people answering some of these questions. So anyway, I thought it would be fun to do. And of course, since I've been tagged, then I've got to do it, right? So I'm going to try to get through these as quick as I can. I don't have a lot of space left on this, on my camera, a lot of memory left on my phone, which I'm filming on. So what is your favorite candle scent? I think kind of the Christmassy, Thanksgiving type scents, like apple pie and pumpkin, and I used to have one called hot cocoa that I really liked. Which female celebrity do you wish were your sister? I'm going to pick Candace Cameron Bure. I think she is awesome. She is a Christian like myself and my actual brother and sister. I think she would fit wonderfully into the family and would just be wonderful. Then, which male celebrity do you wish were your brother? For that, I'm going to pick Chris Pine. I think he's hilarious. He's a great actor. He's so much fun to watch, and I think he would be just a lot of fun to hang out with. Then how old do you think you'll be when you marry? Well, I got married when I was 33, almost 34. It might have been good if I could have gotten married a little earlier, but I wouldn't trade my life experiences for anything that I had in my 20s. So, so it has all worked out just fine, and I'm very happy with the way my life has turned out. Do you know someone who is a hoarder? Yes. Can you do the splits? I could in high school, and maybe if I worked on it for about a year, I might could do it again. I don't know. How old were you when you learned to ride a bike? Maybe 8. How many oceans have you swum in? Not really swum in any, or swam. I have waded in the Atlantic, but that's it. I've not been to any other oceans. How many countries have you visited? I live in the United States, and I have visited 3 other countries, barely Canada and the Niagara Falls area, and Mexico, couple of hours into Mexico, not that far. Went on a week-long mission trip when I was in college, and then I worked on a cruise ship, and our ports were Nassau and the Abaco Islands. That was Premier Cruise Line. If anybody remember the big red boat? Yes, I was a youth counselor on there, and that was a lot of fun. So, what's the next one? Is anyone in your family in the Army? No, but my dad was a Marine in World War II. What would you name your daughter if you had one? Well, I did name my daughter, my oldest, Emmeline Rose. When I was in high school, we had to do a thing for home ec class. My mom was the teacher. We had to plan a house plan and plan the furniture and all that, and we had to say, you know, how big our family was, and you know, who were we planning this house for. So so I planned it for a husband and 3 children. I had a daughter, and I named them. The daughter I named, I'm pretty sure I named her Emily Rose, and then I had 2 sons, which is the next question. If you had a son, what would you name them? So the 2 names I picked were Joshua Judd and Timothy Ned. I had a good friend in high school, he was from another school, but his name was Judd, and I love that name. And then, of course, Ned is Nancy Drew's boyfriend. So, what was the worst grade you got on a test? I might have gotten an F. I don't know. My parents were both teachers, so that was kind of taboo. I'm sure I got a couple of D's here or there. What was your favorite TV show as a kid? There's so many. My very youngest memories are of Underdog. Then as I got a little older, I remember really enjoying the Sid and Marty Krofft shows. Well, in like younger elementary. In adolescence, I think Happy Days, and then as I got on a little older, of course, Little House on the Prairie, the Waltons. My mom and my grandma used to watch the Waltons. We would all 3 sit and watch that, and they would love to watch Lawrence Welk, and so I would get a kick out of watching that too. And so yeah, those are probably the top ones. I remember really liking Magna P.I., but that was kind of like when I was in high school. Where are we? What did you dress up as for Halloween when you were 8? I don't know if I was specifically 8, but my 2 childhood costumes I remember. I remember once being a witch and taking my cat with me. I had a black cat, so I took him with me trick-or-treating, and he did really well. And then I remember being a cat. It must have been 6th grade because I started taking dance class, and so I had leotard and tights, and I probably wore that, and I fixed some ears on a headband and made a tail out of baling wire and felt. So I remember that. Let's see. I keep losing my place. Have you read any Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Twilight? I'm not interested in Twilight, so no, I have not read it. I read Hunger Games several years ago. I really enjoyed them. And I just read Harry Potter in 2016, 2017 for the first and only time. And I enjoyed them. Let's see. Would you rather have an American or a British accent? I'm fine with my American accent, but I can kind of do a British one if I try. I don't know if it's grammatically correct, but I can do one. And but I don't know that I'd want to do it permanently or anything. Let's see. Did your mother go to university? Yes, and my father too. They were both teachers. Are your grandparents still married? They are both sets passed away, but I feel quite certain that they would be married still if they were living. Have you ever had karate lessons? No. Do you know who Kermit the Frog is? Yes. I have a special connection to the Muppets. A bigger connection to Miss Piggy than Kermit, but yes, I know them well. What was the first amusement park you visited? Six Flags Over Texas. And which language would you like to be fluent in? Spanish, definitely. Do you spell it G-R-A-Y or G-R-E-Y? I think mostly I spell it G-R-A-Y, but I really like how it looks to spell it with an E. I like E's. And, but I think most of the time I spell it with an A. Is your father bald? Well, my father passed away in 1986, but he was, for the most part, bald, yes. Do you know triplets? I know of 4 sets of triplets. There were 2 sets from my hometown, all boys. They were younger than me. The set that was just 3 or 4 years younger than me, I knew better. Then there was another set that I think they didn't start school until after I had graduated, so I knew of them. And then older than me, there was a set of girls in the town 7 miles away from my hometown, and their dad owned a business, so every year he would put out a calendar to advertise his business, and their picture was always on the calendar, but I never met them. And then of course I have a Booktube friend who has triplets, and so I know of them even though I've never met them in person. That's Laura from Mom to Triplets 04. She's got 1 boy and 2 girl triplets, and they are sometimes in her videos, and if you are not subscribed to them, you should check them out. They do a lot of fun stuff on her channel. Then, do you prefer Titanic or The Notebook? I've never seen The Notebook or read it, but I probably would say Titanic. It's a little more epic, I think. Have you ever had Indian food? No. What's the name of your favorite restaurant? Probably Golden Corral. Have you ever been to Nando's? No. Do you belong to any warehouse stores? Yes. BJ's. What would your parents have named you if you'd been the opposite gender? I don't know. Maybe if my sister watches this, she can answer that question. I do know that my mom considered naming me Holly Beth, but then went with Elizabeth because that was my grandmother's name. And then my middle name, Faye, was the name of my other grandmother. So I'm named after both grandmothers. What's your nickname? Well, now it's Lizzie Faye, but as early as 3rd or 4th grade, people started calling me Liz, Lizard, Lizard Gizzard, Gizmo. I still have a high school friend who calls me Gizmo. And then who's your favorite person in the world? Well, I guess I have to say my husband, right? Even though there's moments, but no, it's my husband. And let's see, what? Well, I lost my place. Would you rather live in the country or the city? Definitely country. I grew up in the country. Can you whistle? Do you sleep with a nightlight? Not in my room, but there are a couple of lights on in the house because sometimes Emily gets up and wanders around. We have 2 or 3 pets that usually sleep in the house, and I don't want to step on anybody. So, yes. Do you eat breakfast every morning? Yes. Do you take any daily pills or medication? No. What medical condition do you have? I found out 2 or 3 years ago that I have a slight heart murmur, but it's not anything to be majorly concerned about. How many times have you been to the hospital? Twice, because I have 2 children, and then I have taken them to the hospital a few times. Have you ever seen Finding Nemo? Of course. Where do you buy your jeans? Thrift store. What is the last compliment you got? You guys are amazing. You're always giving me compliments that really boost me a lot. I'm definitely a words of affirmation person. My husband is a man of few words, but he does pretty good to remember to give me compliments. Do you usually remember your dreams in the morning? No, but I do remember a couple of childhood nightmares, and those I will probably always remember. What flavor tea do you enjoy? I like a citrusy cinnamon spice kind of a tea. We usually make it at Christmas time. How many pairs of shoes do you currently own? I wear about 5 pairs, and I have a few others that I need to get rid of. What religion would you raise your children to practice? Well, we are all members of a Southern Baptist church. My daughter, of course, Emily is special needs, so but she does attend, and Katie has joined our church. She has she made a decision, on her own to to become a Christian and to join the church. So, I believe that you should give your children some foundation. You cannot force them into any religion. You can't make that. You can make them go to church, which I have done, but you can't change what's in their heart. So, I think as parents, it is wise to give your children a foundation, and then, give them the information they need, and then let them make that choice. Let's see. How old were you when you found out Santa wasn't real? Santa isn't real? And why do you have a blog or YouTube channel? Because I love chatting with you guys. I have really, really just loved building relationships over the airwaves with you all, and over the interwebs. And I just think that this is all just a huge, fun, amazing hobby to have, and I love you all. Thank you so much. So that is a really fun tag. I will tag some people. I don't have it written down, and I will just type it in below when I post this video, so be sure to check below. And of course, anybody can do this tag. You don't have to wait to be tagged, but of course it's always fun to be tagged. So when I do a tag, I usually like to try to tag at least somebody. So that's it for this video. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.